Now, of course, on our interview this particular week, we focus on the place of women in the political scene. How do they navigate this campaign trail? We speak to Anita Thombe, who is the member of the County Assembly of Nyeri, and also on the issues to do with the two-third gender rule that has become somehow elusive. All right, as we head closer to the 2027 general elections, the question that begs quite a lot of people is whether we've been able to achieve the two-third gender rule in the country, and what is the place of women in our political scene. That is the conversation that we want to have here tonight on K24 this week with my guest, who is the member of the County Assembly of Nyeri County, and also a politician that is eyeing to be the women representative of that county, Anita Thombe. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a long time, and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, let's have this conversation.
Thank you so much for coming. I want us to start with this so that it doesn't feel like I haven't done justice to your introduction. Somebody will be looking at you and wondering, yes, you are a woman in the political scene, but who exactly are you?
Thank you so much. I'm Anne Thombe, a member of County Assembly in Nyeri. I've served as a member of County Assembly in Nairobi before. And professionally, I'm a Kenya registered nurse and a political scientist. I know it's a very rare combination. I've practiced nursing in several years, both in private and in public hospitals. And currently now, I'm serving as a member of County Assembly. I love doing registration, and I've passed several bills and statements on healthy issues.
Let me understand. Why transition from private practice to now the public office that you actually hold? Because you are a career person. Not a career politician, but a career person, and now you've gotten into the political space. Now you want to go even and become the member of, county assembly, the member of the county, that is, MP.
Thank you so much, Brian, for that question. When I was practicing nursing at Aga Khan University Hospital and also at a Kiambu Hospital, I realized there are so many policies gaps, and I wanted to be now at the registration space to practice or to pass those challenges that I've seen in that area. And actually I managed. I'm one of the person who passed the bill on public CHPs, and actually that bill was passed here in Nairobi, and I was one of the frontiers of those people who are passing that bill. I was the vice chair of health committee here in Nairobi. As a nurse, I played a very big role to pass policies. I also came up with a bill on private hospital parking. It's still very active, and I thank God for that. At least there is that milestone. So when I left the hospital to come and register and represent and oversight, there's something that I can see that I've done.
All right.
So basically, I've been an ambassador for healthy practitioners. I've raising their issues. I'm telling you, I'm one of the pioneers of CHP bill that was replicated in all 47 counties. And I'm very proud of it.
Let me understand, how did that idea come about for the CHPs?
You know, before there were community volunteers, and I realized there is a gap because they were not being appreciated. But today, as we speak, they're structures and they're being paid, and now they're in 47 counties, and I'm so proud of it.
Do you feel appreciated enough for, somehow the role that you played in regards to that?
I think I have, because I've received so many awards. 2020, I stopped practicing. I stopped registering, and I went back to serve community as a nurse and as a emergency nurse. I did emergency nursing, and I did political science. You can imagine that combination. So during COVID, I left registration work as a member of County Assembly of Nairobi, and I went back to serve community as a nurse. So
and then you came back to the political space?
Then I came back. I practiced actually for 1 year as an MCA and also as a nurse. And I was given a lot of awards. I was given a lot of acknowledgement here locally and internationally. And thank God, because when I was doing it, I never thought there's anybody who is watching it.
What's the international recognition that you got?
I got an award from Texas. From a certain company. Actually, I was supposed to go for that award, but unfortunately I didn't go. But I had a representative there who took award for me. Like acknowledging the work I've done to the community. It's a rare scenario where you qualified people leaving a political office to go back and serve at the same time.
All right.
So a whole year I left the work of MCA to go back and serve the people during COVID and offered my emergency nursing skills in the hospitals. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You as somebody that has gone to school, you've read, you know, you've had your career, then you chose now you want to be in the public space to serve the people, you know, public servant to say the least. Right now you want to vie for the women representative of Nyeri County.
Yes.
I wanted to understand the importance of academics. Why is it so important to have somebody that has gone to school in these positions? Because most of the time we've been speaking about leadership positions, and you'll hear somebody say, oh, class 2 dropout, class 8 dropout, that's why we don't see legislation and all that. Why is it important to have someone even leave the nursing job, being a doctor, and say, now I want to be, you know, a member of parliament and something like that?
I think, no, we're in 21st century where education is very critical, where we need to have people who have brain that is working. And I think having credentials is very important. When you join parliament, whether it's county or national assembly, you are allocated to committees according to your professionals. So you will find that if you're in agriculture, you're placed in agriculture. If you're in health, you're placed in health committee. If you're a teacher, for instance, you'll be in education committee. But unfortunately, if you have no papers, you just be placed in anywhere. It means in that committee, you'll have no value. So like, for example, myself, I serve in the Committee of Health that I've served in now 2 terms. I served as Vice Chair Health Committee in Nairobi, where I've passed several bills and assessment, like I've told you. And currently I'm serving as a Vice Chair Health Committee Nyeri. So the things that we are talking about in that committee is the things that I have had in hand. Is when I'm talking about the challenges of nurses, the challenges of doctors, they're the things I'm seeing. When we talk about SHA, for instance, when we're saying that SHA is not working, when we are saying that the maternal mortality rate has started to start going high, because I have experience. I know what it means when we are not concentrating with healthcare. I know what it means when we are commercializing giving birth. Like for instance, before, during Leader Mama, it was so easy to just come in a hospital, in a facility, and mothers give birth. Now, if you're not a registered member of SHA and you don't have money, it's so hard to give birth. And now this one is bringing a challenge whereby these women now, they're not giving birth to the hospital. We are back to the days where women are giving birth at home because they don't have money. So because of that experience, I'm able to know what are these policies that I need to bring at the county level. And remember, health is devolved. It's devolved, though I realize that most policies are made at the National Assembly. We are made at the county level to just implement. Like SHA, we were not participating. We did participate in public participation. It was very minimal participation. So I feel like we need professionals to serve the peoples.
Do you believe professionals lack in the kind of leadership that we have today?
Yes, I do. And then I feel like Brian is very unfair. In our country today, Wajiko is educating his or her kids. It's unfair for him or her to be served by unlearned people. Because our country, people are taking education very seriously, honestly. And Wajiko is working hard to make sure he takes their kids to school. It's unfortunate to be served with the people who are not learned.
I want us to transition to this conversation and look at the place of women in leadership. You are eyeing a higher position. You started as a nominated member of the County Assembly. How important is it? Because, you know, initially we started by saying, look at the 2/3 gender rule. And in your nomination, it's because of the 2/3 gender rule that you have. But even the implementation of this 2/3 gender rule has been a subject of conversation with almost no political goodwill happening as far as that is concerned. How is that a disadvantage for women who want political positions? The lack of implementation of the 2/3 gender rule.
I think it's very unfair to women of Kenya that at 21st century, 30 years later, after discussion of women representation, we are still discussing about that gender role. And actually, I think we lack political goodwill. I think last week you saw the president mentioning it as a by the way, after he was reminded by Sisiri Barire. And actually, when he was launching the 10 agenda pointers,
the 10-point agenda.
he talked about inclusivity. And where inclusivity, we are talking about women and we are talking about youth. And he talked about implementation of NADCO report, which was #1 pointer of of agendas. In implementation of NADCO report, we have the two-third agenda rule that is not implemented as we speak. And I remember, is it 2020? I think it's 2017. There was Adan Duale bill that was to be implemented then, but it failed twice. It means there is no political goodwill. If there is political goodwill, we could have seen two-third being represented in parliament, in executive. There is no two-third representation, even in appointment of CEOs, appointment of directors. So we lack that goodwill. And when we lack that goodwill at the head, it trickled down to the tail. When we say when the fish rot on the head, it rot until to the tail. Okay. So I think we need to be sensitive about the two-third gender rule. We need to show the goodwill, and we are hoping that after the launch of 10-point agendas, inclusivity being one of them, and implementation of NADCO report being one of them. We remember Baba was very clear and he was very sensitive about that gender rule. And if we mean so well and we want the legacy of Baba to continue, we need to implement the two-third gender rule policy.
Now let me focus on you as Anita, before we transition to what your vision would be, even as you know, a member of the of the National Assembly. The political scene in this country is very chaotic. We see tear gas of the opposition factions. We see, you know, name calling from, you know, different leaders and all that. So it is cutthroat, if you are to say the least. How does a woman like you survive in that space where politics is very combative?
I can tell you for sure, Brian, it's not easy. You can imagine coming from corporate world and joining politics is not easy. But now, of course, women need mentors. I've seen women who are ahead of us, the like of Wangari Maathai, the like of Gilo, and other many women, Martha Karua, and so many other women who have shown us it's possible. You don't have to fear. Of course, it's male-dominated space, but we have to do it, because if we don't do it, who will do it for us? This younger generation, this Gen Alpha, they are young women who are looking at us, and they want us to go there and do it for them and give them that mantle back. So we need to be aggressive. We need to not to fear men and do it. And actually, women have done so well. We've seen a great milestone. Right now, we are at 22%. Of course, we want to be at 50, but still not yet. But it's still doable. We see a country like Rwanda, here our neighbor, they're at 55, they're more than 60% actually in women representation. Country like Cuba, they're doing so well. A country like Singapore, we are told we are planning to be Singapore, is at 61% of women representation. So and I'm wondering, if you want to be Singapore and you're still at 22, how is that possible?
But we say it's a journey, so maybe we are getting there.
How long? We're in 21st century, 30 years later, and then we can speak of something and you don't have that will to do it, because I believe if the president is serious about the implementation of that gender rule, he can do it. It's just an executive order, and it will be done.
Okay.
Yes.
Challenges that you've been able to face in the political scene. You are going to start campaigning very soon.
Yes, yes.
What are you ready to face and what are you not ready to face?
Of course, there is a patriarchal norm where men feel it's their space and nobody should be leading beside them. That is there, and actually it's a surprise to let you know that it is not only in those conservative counties. Even in Mount Kenya, we save the male chauvinism, like where you feel like men feel you're not supposed to lead, and it is us. You find like even in a women representative seat where they don't have a representative, they're playing a great role. They can say you don't fit, they fit, you know. So I feel this male chauvinism or patriarchal norm in the society is still there. And I feel there's a lot of violence against women, even in the cyber crime, there is cyber bullying a lot. I remember when I was vying for Tetu MP 2022, I experienced a lot of cyberbullying where
okay.
my opponents
All right.
were hiring bloggers every day, giving them a lot of money
What were
to
they
insult me. Yeah.
What were they saying?
Of course, we'll be told a lot of things, you know, those many, you know. And actually, I would encourage every woman out there, whatever position you want to fight for, whether MCA, MP, women rep, senator, governor, president even, don't be scared. You just need to close your ears, don't listen to them, let those bloggers talk, but focus on. Don't focus. Many people have tried and they've done it.
I'd like to see your to hear more about your experience with the bloggers, because you see, and that's the space whereby right now social media can actually be used to bully you out of a race, and it happens to a lot of the political class right now at the moment. In 2022, you say you are vying for K2 MP. Yes. People bought individuals to be able to insult you on the social media. What's the worst that they said about Anita?
I think there's nothing worse than I expected. Actually, in 2022, we had a lot of programs, we had a lot of trainings. And actually, I don't know why it's not happening today, where women were being taught and expectations on the ground. And actually, it happened. We were told the names to expect, and it happened. We were told we'll be called names, you'll be told so many things. You're giving birth, I don't know with who. You're sleeping, I don't know with who. Those hurabalus, you'll hear all those stories. But the beautiful thing is, when you're well trained, when you're well focused, it won't affect you much. You just need to close your ears and focus on your journey. Yeah. In
2027, right now, I believe you've started hitting the ground to be able. Have you started experiencing the same thing, or this time is different?
Of course, this time is different. I'm well grounded and well experienced. I know how to handle issues. I know even how to respond even to bloggers, you know. And it's not the same as last time. So I would say this time will be different. So I think what we need to do as a country is to elect more women so that we can minimize the violence women go through, so that when we are many, it's easier for us. And actually, according to the Constitution, you know, the Article 27 clearly talk about equality, and we're still not equal in representation. Article Constitution is very clear that women should be should have a equal representation as men. And we're wondering if, like I told you, if there is goodwill, we could be having a representation everywhere for women, whether it's appointment of the government, whether it's the directors, whichever position. Yeah, so we need to respect our Constitution that we voted for, Brian, with 62%. Very early in the morning, we woke up to support that Constitution. So it should be respected.
It should be respected. Let me understand from where you sit now, what vision you have for the people of Nyeri that you look at and you say, as Anita, when I step in this particular position, I see this is the gap that is currently being experienced, and I want to fill this gap.
Okay, I think Nyeri people deserve better. They deserve professionalism in leadership. They need to be served in a better way. Nyeri County people are very hardworking people. They are very alert people. They know what they want, yet they are lacking the opportunities. So what I'm bringing in is fresh ideas, is fresh mentality of leadership, and the gap between the old and very young community in Nyeri. I'm the bridge. I want to connect the two the two people, the young and the old. And actually, one thing I want to do in Nyeri County is to bring offices closer to the people. In Nyeri County, the office of the women representative is based in Nyeri town, whereby I feel is very far from where people are. Because, you know, a seat of women representative should represent a young girl born today to 100 years old women. Unfortunately, the young generation is not being represented. And I don't know who told the women representative and that they are meant only to represent the older people. That's why they are buying the tents. That is why they are buying the tanks and those sort of things. If you ask my generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs and alphas, they don't need tents, they don't want seats, they want programs, they want mentorship, they want other things, but they're not being represented. And that is what I want to bring to the people of Nyeri. The young people, the millennials, the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, who are not being represented for 15 years, I'm there to represent them. So number one, I want to bring the office closer to the people. We'll be having programs in schools for mentorship, because there is a gap that has been there. Number two, there is a gap also on health as well. Nyeri is leading in uncommunicable diseases. And like I told you, much as health is evolved, there are many policies, health policies, that are made at the national level. So what we usually do at the county level is implementation. One of the bills that I want to bring to the National Assembly is Leader Mama Back, because it was saving a lot of women.
Okay.
And right now, like I told you, we don't have to commercialize giving birth. Remember, we are starting alive. We don't need to commercialize it. What SHA is doing today is commercializing giving birth. So one of the bill I am saying I must bring is Leader Mama Back. Okay. And also many bills that are associated to female reproductive health. Okay. There's so many things I'm planning for people of Nyeri. And if you give me chance, I'll come and give you my manifestos.
No problem. Let's look, because I want to wind up on this conversation. But when you get elected, and if you win, you will be walking into a parliament that has been termed as captured, already by the executive. How do we get to understand that you're going to be a very independent member of parliament, that you'll not be paid to pass the finance bill 2028 and lead people to the streets again, the Gen Alphas now at that particular time?
I think I will be a leader and not a politician. A politician is the one who is given money by executive to betray the people who elected him. I feel like we still have very many independent leaders I can look up to. And actually in Mount Kenya, we have many, talk of Karugo Wathangwa, talk of Medu, talk of Gasheri Kirinyaga. We have those independent-minded leaders who are not bought by money to betray the people who elected them. And I feel I'll be part of those people who can be bought by money. I'll be representing the people of Nyeri with integrity, with having them in mind, and I don't think I can be part of those people who can be given money or be bought by executive to play their tone.
Let me ask, you see, in most cases, and this question, forgive me for asking, it is in regards to the balancing act. In my training, I was told not to ask that, but I have to. Yes. The balancing act that when a woman gets into the political space, it is a very demanding space. How do they get to balance between what they do with their family? Because most of the time, I've got to interview women on set. They've sat here and they say, I had taken a sabbatical because you see maternity and all that, and now I'm back, I have to do this and things like that. So there's not always balancing act. How do you get into that particular space, knowing very well in mind that one aspect of your life will have to suffer to some extent?
Brian, I would say, in every situation, family comes first. There is nothing that should compromise family. Whether it's politics, whether it's business, whatever it is, family should come first. So as a leader and not a politician, everybody should be able to balance. You have 7 days, 30 days in a month. I mean, so many days in a year. So I think it's an issue of balance. Like me, I always balance between family. Of course, I told you family comes first. Then, of course, there is politics and the people I serve, and other issues, my biashara, whatever else I'm doing. It's a issue of balance. And actually, there is no way any level should hang back. It should always be a balance. But number one, family. Because that's where you'll always go back, even when you're older, when you retire, that should become first. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anita. Final remarks as we wind up on this conversation?
Thank you so much, Brian, for having me, and I'm ready to come in any other time. To the people of Nyeri, thank you so much for giving me a chance to serve you as your women, as a member of County Assembly who represent women. In 2027, I'm ready, and you won't regret for my services. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Of course, that does it for us for our interview this week on K24 this week. Do have yourselves a lovely day.